My number one tip to reduce stress is always to ask a question first. Is this problem that I'm stressing about, is it mine to solve or is it unsolvable? So if I'm stressed because if my workplace does something or my boss is treating me a certain way, is it like solvable for myself? Can I do anything about it? And I mean, there's always this chart, and you might have seen it as a meme. Can you do something about it? Yes or no? Well, then, if yes, do something about it, and if no, don't stress about it. And so to categorize your issues or things that are stressing you into, can I solve it or not solve it? I think that's a great first step to take and reduce your stress right there. My number two tip going outside, if you go for a walk, if you go outside, just take a few steps. There's the distance, you have a certain distance to the issue. If you're just in your head about anything and you can't break through, if you step outside, you get your brain distracted because you walk, you get into movement and you see things. And there again is the aspect of natural light. There is color if you go into nature. There's such a calming influence. That's an automatic stress relief as well. If you're guided with a psychologist like I am through that process of what is this feeling telling me? So let's take anger. If you have a lot of anger inside of you, it's not wrong to be angry, but this emotion is telling you something. Something is wrong. And so what is the reason you're so angry? Is there's a need that isn't met? So you can actually take that as a chance. And through boxing, for example, through Muay Thai, you can let go of that anger and give it also acknowledgement. Yes, it's okay to have this anger, and I can place it here, I can box through it, and then change where you want to go from there and turn it into something positive. Complete stress-free life, I don't think it's reachable, and it shouldn't be the goal, because stress is something that's very natural to us. It keeps us going. I think it's important to transform the stress or the energy that the stress can set free into something positive. I mean, we have to keep in mind life is full of challenges, so there will always be a bit of stress involved. Life is a constant change, so even if you have strict routines and tight structures, something can happen and there's like a little change, and this might set you off into a stress mode. And also to consider is every person is different. So what stresses me might not even bother you, or the other way around. So there are also differences to keep in mind, that people react differently to stress. I don't think like a stress-free life or day should be the goal. And maybe people tell this themselves if they're overwhelmed with your daily life, that they say, oh, one day when I'm stress-free, I can do all of those things that I actually would love to do. So it's more about a good and healthy approach to stress. So how can I cope with stress? Learning about strategies, how to manage their own stress, how to not let it go overboard. We have so many people in our world that are diagnosed with burnout, and I think that's a sign of that. If you can't set your boundaries and go over your limits all the time and have too much stress, this is unhealthy and makes you sick in the end. So to learn how to live with a certain and healthy amount of stress, I think that should be the goal.